Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Silver Show, and welcome to In Review, part of the brand. You know, I we were talking about brand the other day, and I said I don't go for brands. I don't go for brands at all. When they were talking about Kanye West, and everybody was blocking Kanye West, and it was cutting Kanye West, all these brand names, Adidas, and all those sort of things, and I said I'm not into brands. I don't buy brand stuff, you know what I mean? And then somebody said, "Well, Silver, you're the brand." And I said, "Yes, most definitely, I'm the brand. We are brands, ladies and gentlemen. You're a brand. Remember the most important thing. You're a brand, but you got to be careful that you're not branded out of what you are. Make sure that you're not sort of spook out of what you are and who you are about. That's one of the most important thing. And as this world unfolds before us, we're going to be surprised how many persons are turning to be what they are not. You know. But anyway, let me just go straight in it. Well, we're seeing 3 days so far with the new prime minister, and I go straight. I may have guests tonight, and if you want to be a guest, you know what you can do. All you got to do is sound the alarm, ring the bell. As a matter of fact, before I go any further, there's a video. There's a ministry in Jamaica which is called the ministry is called Refuge Online with Bishop Campbell. And I was in the park walking the other day. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? I was in the park walking the other day, and I started to dance to the tune. You know, I'm trying to say, I was dancing to the tune, and while dancing to the tune, you know, of the ministry there in Jamaica, uh, I sent it to him, and he was so impressed that he actually posted on his TikTok and posted on his thingy. And then somebody said, "That's what's going to happen very soon." What's going to happen very soon? What is going to happen very soon is that everybody's going to start dancing revival music and moving away from reggae and dancehall. And here it is. I just love this. I just love this. Yeah. that's me there. I tell you got one life to live, guys. You got one life to live, and you just got to live it well and live it right and live it awesome and just live your dream. Just make sure that you are living. You know what I'm trying to say? Live the way that is pleasing to you. Live the way that is pleasing to who you believe, if it is God, whatever your God is. But just make sure that you got that peace, that balance, and that wellness, as Michelle says. Boom. But anyway, Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, 3 days in, the pound has stabilized. Yep, they they call him the the kid that is gonna keep everything on track. And the last topic I have was, is this guy the one who's going to make things happen? Now, the very interesting thing though about what is happening now is that a country has got to run, and with a country being run, you're going to have so many different factors which are going to be in place. The question is, has Rishi Sunak made any bad moves so far? you know, we are seeing that he has bring in this key cabinet, and we discussed it already. I'm not going to go into that anymore, and I'm not going to actually stay on the prime minister bit any too long, because guess what? So many things have happened, and we have been talking about the leadership contest, the revolving doors for youngs. It's almost like when we're talking about Brexit. And I realized that there's so many different topics, like number 10, back Suella Braverman, you know, and I know some people who are, sorting out their immigration, and they said, well, we're so glad that Suella left. Actually, Pretty Patel was even better than her. And when they heard that she's back, they said, oh my days. Elon Musk claim he's buying back Twitter. But also what I found out, for someone who's telling me that Elon Musk actually is tapping into Jamaica, where it is based on one of the platform he has is £50 or $50 for a month. So maybe he's rivaling Flow and possibly rivaling as well Digicel. And the world faced most dangerous decade since World War II, which is Putin. That is something which is there before us, and it is very concerning. And I'm sorry I didn't touch this one, but it's something I touch a lot. The 9 billion pounds these oil companies are making, 9 billion pounds, quarter, quarter. I call it the scam of the season, the scam of the year. Take me down or what? I don't know, but that must be a scam, guys. Seriously. And the funny thing is that by Shell, I noticed that the petrol is climbing back up. I don't know if anybody has noticed that. The other thing I just want to touch on briefly later is Kanye West. No, sorry, my apologies. Not Kanye West. His name is Ye. Okay? Is Ye. That's it. Ye. Something is up. Something is down. And I said, what? I'm gonna make sure that I have my popcorn on the side. Not gonna have any water. Well, not I'm not gonna. Maybe there's a drink water, mind your own business. Yeah, drink water and mind my own business, and watch on the rampart and see how things unfold. I don't want this water to drop. Next thing it drops on my system here. You know. And I love to hear, what do you guys think about Kanye West? What do you think about Yeah? Let's get it right. Yeah, he's changing name. There's a guy once, the late Prince. He changed his name, and his name was that was his name. Smart guy. Michael Jackson started to touch onto something. Mm. Bill Cosby touching onto something. Well, maybe he touched onto too much. You know what I'm trying to say? Send me the link, please. Okay, let me send you the link. Definitely. Yeah, as I'm saying, those who want to come into the show and want to give you a view, there's one way to do it. Actually, I need to just really post the I need to post the link on the video here so persons can actually get it. But I'll send it to you, Michelle, because I have you in my eye gate there. So I'll send that to you, Michelle. Okay, good. So yeah, he cannot be compared to any of those names you mentioned. Kanye is mental. He has gone too far. Well, there you are. So I guess somebody who's very astute on mental health. I said he's mental. You know, can I say this? And it might sound a bit strange, but we all are mental. We all have mental health issues. Mental health doesn't mean to, when somebody say mental, that doesn't mean to say it's bad. There's a time when we hear the word mental and everybody gets scared. But actually, mental means mental health. You got good mental health, you got bad mental health. So therefore, one has got to be careful when we say mental. Kanye West got mental. What do you mean by he's gone mental? I think the guy is maybe one step ahead of us. Who knows? He may be one step ahead of us. Yo, 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 Michelle, what's going down? I don't know what's going on
Hey,
tonight. I'm just talking. What's up? You good?
I'm just here too. Everything
Are you mental? Are
for
you
the
mental?
politics.
Huh? Are you mental?
I'm saying
You're
not
I think something, some of your voices is dropping out. I don't know if it's from my side or your side. There's a dropping out there.
saying I'm not mental. I'm saying
You're saying. But can I just say that I think we misunderstand something, and I found this out about mental health. And even though this is not my topic really, but mental health or the word mental, it doesn't mean that something about, just like you have good um the physical health, and you got the mind. So mental meaning it is the mind aspect. So you got good mental health and bad mental health. So therefore, your mental health is well. So therefore, so when somebody say mental, you got mental. Everybody normally think the person gone crazy, but that doesn't. But that's the perception we have had for years until we have been educated to find out that no, just because someone says mental, it doesn't mean to say that they've gone loco. If that's the case, everybody's gone loco.
mhm.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I heard. guy, Hotep Jesus, but very intelligent guy. And he said
Yeah.
that I really took on to it because he said intelligence has to do with the brain.
Mm.
Intelligence has to do with common sense. And I thought about that and I said, you're damn right. Because about it, when the, I guess we could say the now, um, when the vaccine came out, you see had so many intelligent friends,
Yes.
and yet still on to what was being said to them, and they went out and they took that vaccine. You know them
Yes.
as being somebody that was intelligent, that is intelligent. I
Yes.
always said to my mom, I would rather have common sense anytime over book sense,
Hmm.
because sense you could work yourself through life.
Yes.
You know,
Michelle, why your thing cutting off? Why is your thing
is it?
cutting off tonight?
Oh my God, is it chipping
Yeah.
in and out?
It's
Can you hear
chipping
me
in and
now?
out and stuff like that. Are you walking on the road? You're home, isn't it? Or
No,
where you are?
I'm home. Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
It's like
Can you hear
I'm
me
doing.
now? Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Did you hear what I said about intelligence?
Yeah. You're saying something about there's intelligence and there's common sense.
Right. Like he said, intelligence has nothing to do with the brain,
Hmm.
right? And to with common sense.
Yes.
Because when we think about it, we have so many intelligent friends, right?
Yes.
But yet still taking the vaccine. So it's
So
something for you to think about. You know, it's like that's something for you to think about, that it really don't have really, it just has to do with common sense. Because if you're intelligent, you know to question and learn yourself from certain things. You know what I'm
critical
saying?
critical thinking and critical analysis, if anything.
So this is what I was saying, that I always said to my mom, I would rather have common sense, because
Yes.
at least when you have common sense, you know how to work your way through life, just yourself, through life,
Yeah.
you know. So I was asking you, what do you think about that? Because I thought that was very profound. Don't have anything to do with brain when you say somebody's intelligent,
Yeah.
because
I mean, I
so many
mean,
of,
go on. You're saying so many.
no, I'm saying so many of your friends that they went out and they just took to what was being said on TV, they put out there, and there they go. Now they got all caught up, and it was, and
Mm.
there was supposed to be people that's intelligent.
Well, you're right in a sense, and I think intelligence in a way could be construed based on a person's perception or their sphere of influence or the people that they're around. Because I do recall, I'm a person who is pure blood, um, untouched in the sense of the vaccine thing at that time when they used to shut us down a lot
Mm-hmm,
for us even calling the name. We have to use the juke, or we call it jicky jicky,
mm-hmm.
all those things we used to try to say. And I do recall one time somebody said to me, Silburn, I thought you're one of the intelligent ones. When I said I don't do those things regarding, and they said, "But we thought you're one of the intelligent ones."
Yeah,
And I
well,
said, "Oh,"
there you
and I
go.
said,
And
"Okay,
they're thinking that they're intelligent, but it wasn't that that you made. You know what I'm saying? For you to
yes,
do that. So we look at it now that America is preparing the the
midterm."
army and those
Oh, sorry, yeah,
those the army and OSHA now, and is not being put on the TV. We're not seeing that. Well, I don't hear it on the media. That's not said on the media.
Yeah.
Also, Fuji is up too because they're about to charge it.
Nobody knows that.
That is not
Where is
said
that?
on the news. Fuji, whatever his name is, the Dr. Fiji or Dr. Fuji or whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
his name up now, they have him in trial.
So there's a
That's
trial
not
going
on
on
the
for Dr. Fuji.
news.
There's a
It's
trial
not on
going
the
on for
news.
Dr. Fuji.
Also, the Supreme. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
It's always an agenda they're doing. This is how come they're bombarding us with everything about Kanye West. Kanye West can't keep us distracted. While all of this is going on behind the scene, distracted by this Kanye West thing. Also, they said, whatever company fired did not take the vaccine has to rehire and has to pay them.
Yes. You know, I was watching the news yesterday, and they were talking about the prime minister, the question time, and so that was the top news, and the second news was Ye. I'm not going to say Canada. He's Ye. Ye is his name. What people don't understand is that he's cutting off certain things, and he's doing there's a little resetting going on. But many people don't understand that. Many people say he's getting broke, but what they don't understand, he's preparing himself for a comeback to a certain way. And the second bit of the news was about Kanye West. Was yeah. And then today I heard that Madame Tussauds does get rid of his wax museum. And when I see those things,
I heard that.
I get excited. I get excited because I say something is up. Something is up here. Why are they threatened by this voice?
No, but the thing about it is now he's apologized me a certain way now.
He's what?
He's apologizing. He apologized.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like you went through all of this since most of the melanated people didn't stand behind, and it looked like you're losing a whole lot win, which before wanted to get out that contract with Adidas. He talked about getting out of the contract. So I figured that he went through all of this happened, that he's released from that contract. Right now, with all the temperature that's going on around this, he should just don't make any move yet, because now he just threw him out the building, telling him that he wasn't welcome in the building, and all like
that thing there.
Yeah, like sit back and stop letting yourself look like you're, try something else. Try something else. Don't let it look like you're so desperate right now.
Yeah.
Because now you're moving to Skechers now. Skechers is throwing you out. That's a big disrespect. Them and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of like ease yourself now.
Stop for a moment.
And
Stop.
Just stop for a little bit.
Yes.
You're doing too much right now. You're just doing too much right now.
All over the place.
Yeah, you're all over the place at this time, and like you and I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, but to me you look desperate.
Yeah.
For what you're doing now. You're trying to go to Skechers. You're just doing too much. Sit, just ease yourself a little bit and let things kind of blow over, and then try to come back. Because I know you're not broke. I know you have all that money.
Yeah. Michelle, I'm really I'm really, I still have been struggling to hear you. So
Oh God.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
and
it's
probably come back in.
yeah. If any, yeah, come back in. Especially when I go into the Jamaica bit there as well. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna
All
do
right.
that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. Thanks for Michelle for that. We dealt with the Can West bit there for a moment. Um, I'm not the type of person that like to call people names or say they're mental or they're sick or whatever like that. I'm not walking in their shoes. I'm not walking in their feet. I don't know what their struggles are. I don't know the information that they're privy to as well. And and so all I can do is wish him the best and hope that all goes well with him. And big up the brother at the same time. My first thing is to big up the brother and not to tear him down, but at the same time to encourage him. Uh, one of the things that which is happening around the world again is Putin. Don't know why my throat is going on. Like, actually, my throat. That's how Putin was going on. He was going on coughing a lot today when he was giving his speech. I was listening to the speech for a while and then realized, holy golly, while I'm listening to it, I didn't understand what he was saying because it was in Russian. The most I can say in Russian is "Dobre utro," "Dobry den." That's for that. Is that correct? I don't even know if that's Russian bit there. But what Putin is saying, the world faces probably, what they're saying that the world faces probably the most dangerous decade since the end of the World War II. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned. So he's the one who was warned that the world, yeah, is at a key and poignant moment, probably the most dangerous decade. And this was a speech that he made today, which is Thursday, of course, to justify Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a move that has left his country internationally isolated. And let me just show a quick clip there of him. But I'm not going to show a clip of him, but just to share the image there. And we're going to be mindful that there are things which are happening right around us that sometimes we may not be privy to because there's so many distractions, which is going on. There it is. The world faces most dangerous decade since World War II, says Putin. Most dangerous decade, right? Putin also accused the West of nuclear blackmail against Russia, forced allies to turn away from Moscow. He said the West has denounced recent nuclear threats by the Kremlin. He said earlier this week the NATO military alliance condemned unsubstantiated claims by Russia that Ukraine might use a dirty bomb, conventional explosive laced with radioactive material, right? And what some of the analysts are actually saying is that what we saw and heard today was world according to Vladimir Putin, a world in which Russia is squeaky clean and the West for everything from the war in Ukraine to the global food crisis. All right, and that's a biggie. Boris Johnson, I understand, is planning to somehow start a major campaign in the whole aspect of rebuilding um, Ukraine. You know, salutation, salutation, King Jail Summers. Yeah, we're talking about Russia a bit. We're talking about the impact of Russia at this time upon the world. And one of the things that I was thinking about, and I'm just thinking, you can think with me, work with me, is that the world, I believe, is still, and maybe Rishi Sunak might come in and bring a different dimension to it. Boris Johnson was on it, but maybe many people believe that Boris was on it because he was trying to deflect from the things which are going on at home. So he was throw himself big time into Ukraine and to somewhat be the savior of Ukraine, whereby they have named streets after Boris Johnson, flowers after Boris Johnson, food to the Johnson is now some sort of office in Westminster to deal with the whole aspect of rebuilding Ukraine. And I still say this, ladies and gentlemen, in my analysis, from my puny mind, in my lofty space in Ocherius, Jamaica, which I'm not, but always Otrius is in my heart. I strongly believe that somehow the world has somewhat missed the mark in somewhat coming together and actually having this sort of conversation with Putin. The world has somewhat missed the mark in the sense of key leaders coming together with strength and gravitas and resolve to try to deal with this whole issue of the standoff. Because this particular standoff right after COVID is what is creating a spiral downhill. The oil market, the interest rates, and everything. Well, everybody tried to always point and say, it is you. Blaming Putin, it is you. That's what everybody's saying, it is you. And everybody find it to be a beautiful or a wonderful scapegoat. It was like even with COVID, I recall when people want to get rid of people or something like that, they use COVID. COVID was a sort of factor that many people use at that time, and it's very interesting. So I still believe that, and I hope that with Ben Wallace there, Ben Wallace, who is the Secretary of State for Defense, and has always maintained that position and said, I'm not going to go for the leadership of the Conservative Party. I'm not going to run for Prime Minister of the UK. I want to focus in this position. And throughout all the different leaders, from Boris Johnson to Liz Truss to Rishi Sunak, he's still there as the Defense Secretary to somewhat keep the ship steady. No confidence that I have in the United States of America with the leadership with Sleepy Joe. That's personal to me, and lots of people have that view. No confidence. Not saying that Trump would have been better, but say in a big place like America, think about that, ladies and gentlemen. A big country like the United States of America, the options which are being put forward as president for the past, two seasons after Barack Obama is totally mind-boggling. Totally mind-boggling. One of the persons that I was actually thinking of, and Mark Cameron, a good friend of mine, is Tulsi. Tulsi, who left the Democratic Party. Those sort of sane voice. Because everybody's woke, everybody's not woke. And I always say this word. And I had a post which I placed on my page today. And because I like to, not being typical, but well, I'm not typical because I'm from Otrius, Jamaica. I'm my mother's child. I'm my father's son. You know what I'm saying? And the one of the points that I put out there, where's that post? A man who is not woke, but instead awake and free, will even confound the minds of the alleged caged woke mind. A man who is not woke, but instead awake and free, will even confound the minds of the alleged caged woke mind. I say the cage woke mind because a mind which is woke, I believe sometimes it's caged in a particular thinking, into a particular process, into a particular narrative, that therefore they are going down a particular precipice, I would say, and I'm not one of those persons, because I believe that the how we stand in this world today, where everybody's changing and everybody's actually not standing. I mean, last night I had a chat with my mother in Jamaica, in Otrius, because I was really disturbed by the images that I saw of these children in this school called Oberlin. They said, or demon possessed or something is happening, that I call my dear mother in Jamaica, firebrand lady, prayer lady, and we end up on the phone having a prayer meeting. As I said to her, we're going to have a prayer meeting every Wednesday night, and my mother is going to have a prayer meeting every Wednesday night. We end up praying for the school, Oberlin. We have to remember our history, our roots, and where we're coming from. Just like how I played that video a while ago with that church in Jamaica there, and I was just dancing, and so like Gary, as okay, you ready? You ready, like Freddie? Man, you're looking sharp, man. Even D just even D just came in as you came in. Did you and D was having a chat as you came in? D just came in at the same time.
Is it? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm having my my great moments of walk and talk motivational moments on a Thursday evening. You know,
That's good,
I
man. That's good. That's good.
yeah, I was actually just talking a bit before we go back and sort of rewind onto a particular point. Somebody somebody's trying to challenge me. Ochi ain't nicer than Clarendon. Only joking. I have no idea. I don't know that there are 14 parishes, so I'll be silent. Well, Ochius is not actually a parish. Ochius is like a country all by itself. JL Samuels. And you need a visa to actually go to Ochius. So if you're in Jamaica, don't think you're in Ochius. You got to get a visa to actually go into Ochius. That's for the record. D's saying hello, Rev. You know, Gary.
Yes, the
Yeah, Gary, I was touching on Putin. Putin recently made a big statement, and I found myself while working, doing some crazy cases. I've been on this case for the past maybe two, this big case, and what happened is I was listening to Putin, and it dawned on me that I wasn't actually listening to him in English. It was just
what?
plain. It was just
So
plain in Russian. Huh?
you were you were understanding the Russian.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I mean, look, Russian I know is dobre utro, dobre den, and things like that. Those are the times I used to work at Madame Tussauds. For the record, I used to work at Madame Tussauds, and I know the exact spot where Canowes is. But I left Madame Tussauds years ago when I was studying law, and so I know the place they call they kick Canowes out of Madame Tussauds, but people always beating up wax. But anyway, this is what Putin said: the world faces probably the most dangerous decade since the end of the World War II. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned. In his speech on Thursday, he sought to justify Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a move that has left his country internationally isolated. This guy's coming across like a victim. Miss Putin also accused the West of nuclear blackmail against Russia to force allies to turn away from Moscow. I don't know if you heard the speech. I don't know if you're hearing it in English or in Russian like myself. Um,
Not at all.
but listen, what do you think? I mean, since the advent of COVID and post COVID, we went straight into Putin, and everybody's blaming Russia for everything now. Rightly so, I would believe. Not for everything, but part of the jinx in the puzzle that making things go bad. We were talking about leadership all the while, leadership in the world, and we're finding that similar situation now where who is the person going to bell the cat, Gary? Who is going to be belling the cat?
Who is the cat though? What is the cat? You have to.
You know who's the cat?
You see,
Is go on, yeah, go on. Gary. I think that was a rhetorical question you were saying. Go on, yeah.
yeah. Well, it's a question that we need to define because we've got to define who or what is the so that at least we can then address the subject matter. So who is the cat
Mm.
or what is the cat?
I tell her who's the cat and what's the cat, and please nobody comment. If let's all here, let's all say some different things. Um, I think the cat is Russia and Putin, and how there can be a coming together of world leaders to have that conversation to break this impasse. And this is something we have spoken about a long time, and we've been talking about the resolve of leadership. We spoke about the advent of the Reagan, the Margaret Thatcher, the Gorbachev, those period, those era where when things happen, you know that there's this stalwart. Merkel, we believe, was one of the last person of that era there. And then we spoke about leadership the other day, whereby is it a new generation of leaders? And the new generation of leaders are slick guys. I mean, I'm seeing Rishi putting out all these videos. I mean, he's a slick guy as well, Everybody's a bit slick now. And I don't know who is going to be. Boris actually was threw himself into it, but I think you're marginalized if you throw yourself all the way into one, you know, all the way into one person. And the marginalization was when they throw themselves all behind Ukraine. So who's going to bail the cat is who is going to try to find a resolution. That's the cat.
I don't know. I think that Putin is on a self-destruct mission,
Yes.
but in more ways than one, you can understand why he's doing what he's doing because he's afraid um, of NATO and
Locking him down.
what and yes, and more to the point of the United States coming in on his backyard. Now, there is history to all of this, and I'm sure you may know it already, but the wider people or the wider audience may not see it or may not know it. But the little history that I know about it was when, if you remember back in, I think was it the 80s or was it the 90s, when Putin more or less stepped into the role of president of Russia, and something quite significant happened when he
Mm.
requested to be a part of NATO. I wonder if anybody remembers that. I don't
We
know if
weren't
you
born
remember
it.
that.
Weren't born it, Gary. Weren't born it. I wasn't born it.
All right, well, I am not much more older than you. I don't think I'm a very old man, but Putin requested all those history buffins.
Mm.
If you know, Putin requested that Russia join NATO. Now there was some hoo-haing about that, but they refused from Russia joining NATO because I think he wanted to be a part of that. But um, somewhere around that area also,
Yeah.
NATO, NATO, and the United States made a deal with Russia that they would not bring, they would not expand
Yes.
the NATO alliance because of some agreement that was made. I can't remember what was going on,
Mm.
but it's interesting to note that
Yes.
as soon as whatever happened, NATO began to expand. And when it came to the point of Ukraine wanting
Mm.
to join, that is when, if you notice, that is when Russia began to respond because he's afraid that the US really will want to
Crush him. Come and
crush.
crush him. Yeah.
Yes. So so really, I don't know. I don't know if belling the cat is a is a is the right
The, so
term.
what do you say then? What would you say then is the way forward, because this was a big statement he made today. I think what he's doing is he's setting out his stall
What did he
because
say? What did he
well
say
what
that?
well in essence what he's actually trying was the victim. Yeah. The day before his address, Putin was speaking to the annual Vladimir Forum after a series of recent military defeats in Ukraine, right?
Right.
Military defeats and growing public anger at home over a drive to mobilize some 300,000 Russians for the war effort. So he's losing people, and then he's also having face off with his own people because he's trying to draft persons at the same time. And Putin singled out the UK from former Prime Minister Liz Truss for suggesting during an August campaign event that she would be ready to press the nuclear button if he said he was. What were we supposed to do? Keep silent, pretend that we didn't hear it? Is what I'm. So you see, there are lots of rhetorics which are going on, and what I'm trying to say is this: whenever there is war or so, how you're going to resolve it is that you bring the stakeholders to the table. But if all the stakeholders is on one side, then it's difficult for one who either the perpetrator or the victim, or more like the perpetrator, like Putin, to actually play ball with you. So therefore, he's going to be like a hyena or one of those animals that instead of actually relaxing, he's going to go like this. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is what is happening because of the rhetoric of words. That is why there's this meme picture which was going around, and I don't know if I have it. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. Putin must go. That Liz Truss said. Putin said, "Who must go?" And he laughed because, of course, he's still there after everybody keep going. You know. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm. Yeah.
yeah. I hear what you're saying. I mean, probably Putin knows a few things more than what we would ever know.
Yeah.
Sylvie. There are things that world leaders will know, and as you know, and as many of your listeners
Mm.
already know, and some of them probably are more well informed than you and I put together. But the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the globalists, they're very much rearing their ugly heads really, and
Yes.
putting things and plans in place and executing their moves that we are not so much aware of. It's only when it happens and the
Yes.
results are there, that's when people like you and I, that's when we really know what's really happening. But
Yes.
people
Yes.
may know a few more things, a lot more than what we will ever know. So
Well,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, that is right. They always say that those in positions of authority and power, they will have access to certain information. Michelle and D, let me know if my mic is, if you're hearing me cutting out. So maybe it's not even something to do with Michelle when she was on earlier. Maybe it was with me, and my system cutting in and out. Um, you know, but Gary, yeah, yeah. So I mean, but I was Rishi so far. This, what's your thoughts on Rishi so far? The
he he is impressive. I think he's.
Question time.
Huh?
Did you watch Question Time?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch Question Time. Was he on Question Time?
No, sorry, sorry. My apologies. Prime Minister's Question Time, PMQ.
Yes, Prime Minister. Yes, I did. I did listen him. I did
Yeah,
watch partly listen him, and I think he did very well. I
he
mean,
did very
I'm
well.
impressed. I'm impressed. But you see, the thing about it is this: that he has to do well.
Mm,
He has to do well based on the 2 years that he has to stay and to prove that he is the prime minister that the parliamentary MPs have put in place to take the country through. He has to do very well. The markets, I'm sure you've noticed, the money markets have
stable,
responded well. They have,
stabilized, isn't it?
and interest rates have gone down. So at least he has proved that he is a safe set of hands, really, to take us through. I don't think, to tell you the truth, I don't think that the
Yeah.
Labour Party has would have given the same effect to the money market. I can't say, because what good thing could they do? What is it that they could do any differently?
Well, I think Labour is having a problem because their broken recorded tape is becoming a bit stale soon. It's, like those tapes that we used to use before, the normal tape. And you just spin it. I think it's gonna start wear and tear, and then you might find it on the street. Remember we used to find them on the street sometime. Pull out. I think that's what's gonna happen because he was trying to somewhat paint um, Rishi as a liar and try to do all those things and using the solar Braverman. I mean, I'm not going to judge Rishi's decision as to why he chose Suella Braverman.
Well,
But
again,
he did.
yeah, I mean that is something that I've thought of myself. Why
Mm.
did he put her back in? However, he must have some reasons why, and there are certain questions, or question marks, pointing also to um, probably hoping that he could get a good deal with India. You see, we don't know.
So what? A deal with India, so therefore you get all the Indians around him. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying here is that India didn't Boris or even Liz Truss promise to build good trade links with India.
Mm,
So so basically, he's put her in as a good signal to show Modi, um, that we're here for business, really. So
yeah.
we don't. I mean, the political moves that are made every now and again by prime mayors and by presidents and such. Sometimes we don't know why they do certain things, but they
Gary,
do it.
Gary. Somebody say you're a handsome guy. That's a young handsome guy.
I don't know. Michelle, I don't think it's me you're talking about.
Well, I can't see, I don't see anybody else which is young and
well,
handsome. So it must be you. You know
well,
what I mean, Gary?
well, you keep putting up Rishi. Rishi, not unless Michelle is going for an Indian connect now.
Indian Connect. Jail someone's an India Connect. um, but listen. Moving on from that, we touch on the Prime Minister and we wish him the best. I must say, I must say though, during question time, there was a nice pleasantry atmosphere and everybody was just laughing, jovial. The speaker was even cordial until Sama came on at the same time. But it was a pleasant atmosphere, I must say, pleasant atmosphere. So I wish them the best. Gary, there's a serious thing which I saw in Jamaica, and I don't know if you saw the video I sent to you. Um, there's something very disturbing regarding a school in Jamaica, and I sort of see if I can find.
No, I
Uh,
mean, I don't know if you really want to put that up there. I don't really know if you want to really show that, my brother.
no, I'm
But
not going to put it up. I'm not going to put it up. I'm reading. I'm reading. I'm reading something. An accident on Wednesday at Oberlin High School in which a number of students fainted after a devotional exercise forced the early dismissal of classes at the St. Andrew institution. Incident was reported to the Ministry of Education and Youth. Videos have gone viral of students, mostly girls, screaming and acting uncontrollably. Some schoolgirls on the ground, their eyes closed while moving, and abnormal acts and blah blah blah. I don't. I think what I'm picking up from lots of persons is that something is going on in Jamaica with youth because of recent days we have had children killing each other, stabbing each other. You remember, and then this situation again. Um, do you recall? I know we never had the advent of social media at that time, but I never recall things like this in Jamaica, even though we weren't able to see everything on what's going on because social media bring things out very quickly. But what's your thoughts on it, Gary, if anything, in brief?
still, Stillborn, and I mean, let me say this. Let me say this. I've thought about it. I saw the clip. I saw what was going on. Somebody even sent me um a prayer. When it wasn't a prayer, it was just somebody who had sent a message asking for ministers in the area, for churches. I don't know if you heard that, for
Mm,
churches to send ministry teams, um, um, to the school because they don't know what is happening up there, and and the prayer is needed. I just want to say this to you, Sil, and
mm,
I don't want to get too far and too deep, and I don't want um to what's the word? I can't. The word is there, and I can't get it out. But I just think I don't know if I don't know if it's demonic. I wouldn't say it's demonic. I wouldn't say that it is spiritual. I don't know. I wouldn't even want to say that it was the Holy Spirit, because I don't think it was, as far as I'm
Mm,
concerned. I don't want to get too religious in that thing. I don't know what to make of it, really,
mm,
because it didn't seem right. There was something about all that happened in that school that just didn't seem right. And
mm.
if you observed who who was being affected, was girls. Now,
Yes.
I'm saying it never affected the boys. There were probably one or two boys there. I did see a young boy there
Mhm.
on a chair, what he was doing. But it was
Mm,
girls. It was girls. And that's what I found rather strange. That it was
mm,
girls that was there on the floor. I know back in the day, I don't know if Michelle. Hi, Mish. I haven't seen you for a long time.
I
mm,
know.
mm.
But but I remember back in the day when I was much younger, and like yourself, Silborn and Michelle, I'm sure when you went to church and people used to go on the when the spirit moved, everybody dropped and they were on the floor and they're doing everything.
Holy Ghost fire. Yeah.
Holy
I didn't
Ghost
go to
fire.
churches like that.
What's that?
I didn't go to churches that does that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
but the thing about it, though, Sil, no, but the thing about it,
I
okay,
think
fine. I'm not saying that it's the
you
same thing
probably
or
right.
any different. But I believe there is I don't think it was something like that. I think there's something strange. And I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to begin to talk a lot of spiritual jargon and get and go down in that area. But I don't think it had anything to do with God. I don't think it had anything at all to do with God. I don't know what it could have been. I'm not an expert. I know I may be a minister of the gospel and such, but for me to comment on these things, I don't know. I don't know, and I didn't feel good about it, and I don't think it had anything to do with God, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
My
Yeah. Go on, Michelle. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, my take on it is Jamaica need for come out of that system that they're in. Public school, there should not be devotion going on in a public school. Devotion on in a Catholic or either a Christian school. You have a portion because you have you have different kind of religious people that okay. So why are you having these kids that is doing devotion in the morning? That's a no. That's number one. I think that's illegal. It shouldn't have the thing. I don't think that the person who was speaking at the and spoke. I think it was the teacher that knew somebody, and the person said God told her to say kids them or something like that. You guys are hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. She went
We're
in
hearing you, Michelle. Yeah.
and she did what she did, and whatever came out of it came out. That could have never happened in the United States of America because number
Mich-
one, that would be a big
Yeah.
lawsuit in the school
Michelle.
system.
Michelle, are you talking about that the teacher that the person that they said went up to speak, or you're saying that there should not be devotion? Period.
There should not be devotion in a devotion should only happen in a Catholic school if you're in a Christian school. But as far as public, it should not to cut that out the
Yeah,
system.
but if it's a school like Holy Childhood or Immaculate, they are public school, but they are linked with Catholicism, isn't it? They always have sisters. Remember?
Well, that's how come them need for differentiate and to
I went to
separate.
York.
There's distinct
I
there.
went I went to York Castle High School, and we love when we say "To be a pilgrim" and love those songs that we used to sing, and we stand up and we sing. Those were beautiful days.
This is what we're indoctrinated in.
No,
It's
it
an
wasn't indoctrinate. It wasn't
indoctrination.
indoctrinate. It
Your
wasn't an
your
indoctrination.
parents them
It,
go through it. For them parents them go to it. So that's all. That's
So
all
what?
we
So
know.
what's wrong?
When
So
you're
what are we trying to
dealing
say?
with public
Are we
school,
trying to say our parents were wrong?
listen, it's not a thing of wrong or right. It's a thing of saying it's all different kind of denomination of people going to that. Put your child in a Catholic school. Yes, you know that there should, if they have devotion there and all that, it's fine. If you put
Mm.
them in a Christian school, yes. My child, I could be a Rasta. Me couldn't be a Rasta. Me send the
Mm.
pit to go a public, pushing your religion on that child. That's
But,
not right.
but isn't it that most schools in Jamaica have a Christian sort of
Well,
base?
this is what I'm trying to say. That old kind of system that you have that's still in a public school. Here, you could have never do that in America.
Well, America
You
is you can't use America is not the best place to have a comparison with
It's
a
listen,
litmus
it's
test
not
because
the best place. Oh, do they do that in England in public school?
we
Tell me,
what's that devotion?
devotion in a
Yeah,
public
I,
school.
I think they do it in Catholic, they do it in religious school. I'm not sure. I never
Okay,
studied. I
that's
never
what I
studied.
said,
I can't
Silver.
speak for the UK. Gary, what do
Your
you have to
kids them.
say?
What kind of school your kids them go? They go to a Catholic school?
Huh?
Do your kids go to a Catholic school?
My kids go to us. No, I don't disclose my. I don't discuss my kids publicly.
I'm asking you. You live in England. You live in England. You lived there for years.
No, no. I came to England as a young man in straight out of Ochi. I don't remember
Yes,
Ochi.
and you want to tell me that you're in England and you lived there for how
I,
long?
I think the key thing here is this: are we having an issue with devotion in schools with God? Is it? Are we having a problem with God? That's what I'm just asking.
It's not. How could you have a problem with God? The problem is the religion. You cannot push
The
your
problem is what?
religion, your belief off on someone else. If my child attend a public, not want anyone else in that public school to talk to my child about me. If I wanted my child to be and to have devotion, I would put my in a Christian school. Then
Yeah.
it's okay. But once you have, it's all goes to a public school. Your religion could be one thing, Buddha religion could be another religion, but you're attending a
Mm.
Catholic school. So they're to learn. They
So
don't
are
go
you
there for religion.
okay? So are you alluding
Okay?
that? Well, hold on. We can keep going on in circles. Are we alluding that what happened is because the children are subject to religion?
No, it was all religion because that's what the lady came in and said. God told her that she should say these things to the kids. That's what it was about.
Yeah.
Okay?
What what I'm trying to say
First of all,
what I'm trying to say is that.
first of
So what
all,
you're
wait a
saying? Yeah. Mm.
minute, is that everybody should be sued in that school. If but Jamaican parents are like dumb, deaf, and blind, something is going on with them. Everyone should be sued. It should not have happened because number one, you know what kind of trauma to see something like that happen.
Yeah.
That it shouldn't be. Number one, there's a letter that goes home to the parents days before, asking to pay if they give permission for their child to participate in that day.
Michelle, we're gonna stop there. We're gonna stop there because we're going to a lot of um what we think and what we don't think. It could be we don't know, and it could be a situation where the children all know that it's a Christian school. The only thing
Oh,
that
so
we heard.
it's a Christian
Hold on,
school. I don't
hold on.
know the school.
I'm telling you
Is it a
something. I'm telling.
Christian school?
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. The principal wrote something. The principal wrote and said at their devotion, which they have regular, somebody spoke, right? So therefore, maybe the question here, I don't know who said they can't hear. oops, it seems like one of your stream is having a connection issues. Can you hear me, guys? They,
I
I don't
can
want
hear.
to get into. You can hear me,
You hear me
Gary?
now.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear.
Now I can hear
yeah,
for a little bit.
yeah. What I don't want to get into now is the whole issue of was it a Christian school or not? Because I don't know, but based on the letter that the school said, it was at their devotion. One of the teachers or somebody said they got a word. That is the issue there. But it seemed like it was a normal thing. Like the school I used to go to, York Castle High School, we had our devotion in the mornings. I don't remember if it was every Monday or so, but we used to have devotion. And therefore, it was. I think it was a Baptist school or so. So I think, Gary. I don't know what you have to say. I'm not going to stay too long on this. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the thing about
Yes,
it,
Gary, I
what
like what to say.
yeah,
what 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 we must remember, is that most
yeah.
of the schools in Jamaica are from some aspect of religion. Like
Mm,
you've got the Church of God, which is odd, and I went there. You've got the Church of England schools. You've got the schools that are Roman Catholic. Almost in every major parish, there are schools there. Even the Seventh Day Adventists have schools there. So there are schools that will hold, yes, um, religious devotion. Every time I went to school, when I was in school, every um, before school commenced in the before school commenced in the day, there was
Hmm.
a song, and we had prayers and whatever. So there was some kind of foundation there. And Michelle, I really believe, in as much as I understand what you're saying, but I really think, the reason why, let's say Jamaica is having an explosion of
mm,
violence that we have never ever yet imagined and seen ever in our lives is because they've taken the basic thing for us. I really believe this, Michelle. The
mm.
basic thing for Jamaica. Jamaica was built up on church. Even the baddest man in Jamaica,
Mm.
if there was one, and there was a few, went to Sunday school. They had some respect to some extent for church and for the
Yeah,
Bible and for God. There was some basic respect. These days, from what I see, I'm not there right now, Michelle, so I can't really talk and speak with authority on that. But
yes,
some of them guys down there, they have no respect for church. They will come right into church and do what they want to do because they don't care anymore. Why? Because because the very fabric of the West Indian um, mojo, if I can use that term, has
yeah,
been taken of out of the life of Jamaicans. Let me say,
yeah,
I know West Indians is wide, and we've got Barbadians, we've got Saint Kittens and Nevis and all of
yeah.
that. So that is there. But let me just talk for Jamaica. We were grown up on good, solid um um
Biblical
Christian
principles.
and biblical principles, Michelle. I think that helped you. That helped us. I really believe that, Miss. Even though you may not have gone, I'm not saying that you went and whatever. I'm not saying that because you made that choice and your family made that choice. But if you look back, as far as you can go back in
Mm.
any family's life, the grandmother, the grandfather, right, living in a tenement yard. When Sunday come, you dress up to pick them, and you go in Sunday school.
But
That
but
was there. That
but
was there.
but but Gary, even tenement yard, sometimes you hear them out sing gospel song.
Yeah.
It's gospel song. But listen, what the teacher said, Miss Bloomfield, dear Miss Bloomfield Smith. That is she wrote to the Ministry of Education on Wednesday, October the 26th at 7:40 a.m. We convene a general assembly with all students and teachers in the schoolyard. One of our teachers had previously informed us that she had a word for the student population, and so she was given the opportunity to share along with another teacher. Based on my humble opinion, during the worship, some students were overpowered by the anointing and started to worship aloud as well, while a few others had to be taken to the nurse because they could not control themselves, and a few had also fainted. We believe that some of the students, seeing what was happening, naturally became afraid. After worship ended, the students were sent back to their classes. However, more students were brought to the nurse because they were acting abnormally. The nurse, along with other teachers, tried to calm them while others offered a word of prayer. Some parents who were on the campus at that time also helped to console the students, while other parents called the school to find out what was happening and if their children were okay. Because of the complexity of the situation and the fact that some students were unsettled, school was dismissed at 10 a.m., with only the past students allowed to remain in order for them to collect their lunches. That is the official word from the school there, you know? And
Okay, but you have to listen to the word that she said. Okay, now in with her beliefs, doing the kids were overpowered by whatever. That's a fear talk on what she believes.
well,
And,
naturally, because she said it.
trying to say, Silburn. What I'm trying to say is that every own, well, me always say I don't believe. I know.
God is here. God is
Don't
here, so we
believe
can.
No, no,
in
you
saying
see, you see
that
my.
I believe. I always say so because I think that when I know that when you say I really know, okay, me know that is wrong. I yes, our school, yes, I remember us having devotion and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, it was a Catholic church that I grew up in. My mom, we didn't used to go to a Catholic church. We used to go to a church when I was growing up. But after I reached a certain age, no, we don't go to church no more. Right.
Mm.
It looks, hey, still going. It looks like we have a big job to do. It looks like I better go to Michelle's house and run a revival up there, you
Listen,
know.
my mother's a church lady. She's a church, but after a certain age, I didn't grow my kids up in church, and they're well-behaved kids in the society and all that. Okay.
The preacher pitting themselves is
Um,
bad. But Gary children are good. I know them.
my whole thing, you have to learn to separate. Okay. I came to the United States. I went to a public school, and every morning and said their allegiance to the flag. But it was your choice. If you didn't want to stand to that flag, you sit down. You don't have to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
It can. So to me, devotion is forced on the kids. Separated. If you go to school to learn, you go to school to learn. I'm not in school. That is
But
for
religion is
my people that do that.
yeah, but Christianity is also a part of education as well. When I
No, you
listen, when I was
can't
at law
say that, still burn. You can't say Christianity
listen to me.
is part of
No, I hear
education.
what you're saying. When I was at law school, we also had a Christian fellowship there, which I led. And we left out of school, out of the university, and we walk across to a church. We got to know the vicar there, and we use it for Bible studies, right? And at one local authority I work with, they also had a section where they had fellowship.
You're tripping in and out.
You're out now. I can't hear you at all.
You can't hear me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
I hear you now.
can you
I
hear
hear
me
you
now?
now.
Yeah.
We could hear you.
The point the point I was trying to say right there, I don't know why I couldn't hear it, was that it's a choice. Everybody have a choice these days, you know. As I was
Well,
saying,
this is
at law school,
what I just said,
yeah.
Silburn. It's
So
your
nothing is,
choice.
but the school, when you're at school and you're a young child at school, these parents know what they're sending their children to. So therefore, if
Well,
somebody,
that's because
but
that's what we were indoctrinated in and just grew up in that. But
listen,
it's time for
listen, I call my mo-
Jamaica to change that.
I call my mother I called my mother last night,
Mm-hmm.
meeting on the phone, because that's how I enjoyed it. And therefore, I'm not going to move away from the foundations that establish me, because everybody's moving away from their foundation and trying to create other foundation. I'm just speaking about me. So I said to my mother, I'm going to prayer meet with her every Wednesday night. And we got together last night and we prayed for Oberlin High School. That's just me. Now, if anybody don't want to do that, that's up to them. But I'm not going to um what should I say, dismantle the foundation, because I saw we used to do it. We get trained up in those ways from long time and it was wrong. Who are we to say that's wrong? That is what is wrong with society now. We are mashing up the
Well,
foundations
go on
that was
in the school and then
established for us
still a go on
years
earth in
ago.
a Jamaica same way, don't it?
Huh? Was that?
Devotion still a kill off and a go on in a Jamaica same way.
Yeah,
So
but
tell me now.
anyway, that's just my view in the whole thing. I think we have sort of lost our mojo a bit, like, you know.
Well,
Any last word? Let's go, Gary. Yeah.
well, I mean, it's good to have Lester there, the blogging god. I'm glad that the blogger god could turn up. And I was waiting for Vita to come on board because it looked like Vita was moved by the Holy Ghost to comment.
She, she
The
said
Holy,
yes. There she is. She said yes.
yeah, man. The God turned up and the Holy Ghost moved from Vita.
But he says Kanye
Lester,
for
what say
us.
you?
He said Kanye. Nobody's named Kanye. The person name is Ye. The name was changed.
Yeah.
And everybody knows him name change it, you know.
Okay. I don't know why I'm getting cut out sometime, but keep talking. Yes, sir, you go for it, and I'll see what's going on with
Um,
my mic. Yeah.
the I don't think our administrators in our schools are prepared for these things, you know. The school wasn't let out until because they didn't want to let out the school until the MP for the constituency went over there and you know and they let out some of the students like they were running up and down and they went on the street and you know the MP went over there and you know tell them to allow the children to go home. They wanted to keep the children in class, you know, to lock them up really, you know, and when they have a thing like that, you can't really what I say confine people, you know. Call the parents or try to get hold of the parents them and have parents come if they can come or arrange something for them to go home. But I don't think the administrators at school are prepared. And this is to show you that if there was a, God forbid, mass shooting or a mass attack at school, what preparations are in place if, because I hear it's like something like 200 children were affected, something in that region,
Yeah.
right?
They said
Now,
one died. Is it? That's one died or two died? Is
it
it?
is unconfirmed reports. I'm hearing that I am not sure, so
Somebody
I won't say
Where is
that.
it? What happened? I haven't. In what
somebody
regard?
died with
That's what that
all of
yeah,
that?
but unconfirmed reports.
What?
Okay.
We don't know.
Until Lester confirm it, it is unconfirmed.
uh, until authorities in Jamaica confirm it, right? No, but what I'm saying, we have
Mhm.
to look at the bigger picture here, where if there was an attack at school, you know, or a disaster or something like an earthquake or something, you know, what preparations are in place at our high schools or institutions that can readily be put in place to say, hey, this is how we're going to respond to this, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Most business places have a meeting point if there's a disaster or something. I know most schools don't have that where it is known when I was going to school,
Like
right?
a
And
fire drill. Like whenever a fire drill, there's always a
fire
meeting
yeah.
point. Yeah.
That is not available in Jamaica from based on what I know, right? There may be a policy, but from what I know, it's not practiced, right? So again, there may be a policy, but it's not practiced. But it is very sad what happened, and you know persons are having and you know people have knee-jerk reactions to it, you know, cancel all devotion, blood of Jesus, and varied views on it. My take on it is that you know we need to have even the official report from the school, even how it was worded was poorly written, but but you're not getting somebody from the school officially, a video, a press conference, somebody from the ministry come out and say, listen, this is what happened, this is what did not happen, and dispel the rumor, because there's so many things going around. I'm getting voice note. I know a teacher that works there. I have a cousin that's a past student there, and you're getting various varied reports. It is just these things are the minister need to come forward, the principal or the chairman of the board need to come forward, explain and just give an account of what happened, so the public can know that, okay, we have this under control, this is what happened, these are the measures that we are taking. you know um
Yeah, that is why, Lester, I agree with you, because the social media clip that has been sent, that was sent out, yes, I you cannot get the real feel of what really happened, and that's why I am saying, from my point of view, that it didn't look anything like Holy Ghost down there. It was something other than what was going on, and that is why you're absolutely right. The board of chairman or an official from the school should, yes, have come out to say exactly what took place, what happened. Because when you got social media coming out and giving out clips, different section of clips like that, it's not giving the whole picture. Nobody really
exactly.
knows what happened,
And
and
it,
that is,
it, it and it's like a blogger's delight. It's like a blogger's delight at this moment now.
yeah.
But
Bloggers are capitalizing
my
on it. Sorry,
question
Michelle.
to my question, Lester, is why would you have a drill on something like that? Why would you have a drill on something like that?
No, agile and emergencies.
That the kind of emergency shouldn't be happening. That the kind of emergency
No,
shouldn't be.
no,
So
Michelle, no,
why would you have a drill on that?
no, Michelle. What
I
I
know
mean is that, no, remember now,
you have your fire
this is
drill.
an
You have your if it's a storm, we'll have
It's a
center
Holy Ghost drill, Michelle. It's a Holy
or
Ghost drill.
whatever. What a Holy Ghost drill?
no, Michelle, no. I'm not talking about the Holy Ghost drill.
No, just ignore me. Ignore me for a moment. I'm just
No,
being facetious.
what I'm saying that, regardless of the nature or the events around it, it is something that traumatic has happened at the school, right? And it affected 200
Mm-hmm.
or more persons. Now, from the videos that we saw, the 3 or 4 videos, we saw total chaos. There,
Mm-hmm.
who is the person in charge to say when an event happens, Gary, Graham is in charge of this, so we follow the instructions of Gary. So there's a protocol of what to do when events like this happen.
But they wouldn't think about writing that in the handbook or in the people them not think about something like that happening. Yes, you can be aware of if the weather, if any storm or anything like that. But
That's what I,
who in the handbook or in any book that indicates of um somebody coming to talk to them for talking to you, and then everybody start
but
convulsion and
but
all
Michelle,
them thing there. Get
but
sick
Michelle, well, I know,
in the
but
school.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. No. You are saying about the specific incident that happened. I'm saying there is not a protocol for what I have and what I know. Protocol when any incident happen, right? Who is in charge? Is it the dean of discipline that is in charge? Is it the chaplain that is in charge? Is it the principal that is in charge? That's what I mean. Just like if there's a natural disaster in America, FEMA take over. We know that.
That's
You
So,
understand what I
something
mean?
different.
so
I
in
think
this
that
case, in this,
that is like you're talking about apply. It's like
No,
totally
but it's
different.
no. You're looking at the nature of the incident, and I'm not looking at the nature of the incident. I'm
let's
looking at
say
these.
looking at a bigger picture.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Like
incident.
what's yeah, that all somebody come to talk to the school, and then officer going to convulsion and stuff like that. Who would ever in their mind think about this happened? This is who will be in charge of this, or this is who will be in
Michelle,
charge of that.
Michelle, can I stop you for a
Let
second?
me just
So
let
go
me
finish,
just say what
finish,
I'm
finish
saying.
your point. Yeah, sorry.
Now, if there was a storm, you can say, okay, if this get blown down, you will be in charge of this, or you will be in charge of that. It could never be that somebody will even happening, or if there was a fight, or if there was a shooting going, that was something totally different. Totally different. No one would even think that something like that would happen.
Okay,
This is
can you hear me?
what I'm saying.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now
Yes.
we
Can
can
you hear
hear
me?
you.
I'm I think what Lester is actually saying is that in any form of disaster, if there is a shootout, if there's some sort of chaotic thing happening, there must be some sort of protocol where they can sort of bring things, have some sort of order, some semblance of order. So if there's a hurricane coming, instead of saying to the children, "Oh, no, run out," and there must be some sort of, let's find some point. And if this thing happened, what is the sort of reaction? Because the videos that we saw, it was really chaotic. What was the sort of action for any form of disaster looking thing? It had a disaster looking thing, isn't it, Lester? To how it looked.
Yeah, but because remember, apart from the persons who were affected, persons who were looking on were also traumatized
Traumatized, yes.
and affected, and they were running up and down, they were screaming, they didn't know what to do. So I'm saying there should be a team in place where the chaplain is in charge of that team, or the
Yeah.
principal, or the vice principal, or the dean of discipline is in charge. So there are 6 7 teachers, and so they have a protocol what to do in case of a chaotic event, or a natural disaster, or a fight, or a stabbing,
Like
or
fire
something.
marshals, for argument's sake, for different parts of buildings, if anything.
Exactly. So so
Mm,
so you know that these persons are going to come out. Like JC has it. I know that Jamaica College has it. I know
mm.
that St. George's College had it when I used to teach there, right? But I don't know if it's a standard procedure from the Ministry of Education that all schools must have it. I know that some schools, Immaculate, these school Hillel, Heidel, these schools have these things, but I don't think it's a standard practice across the board for
Yeah.
all schools.
Well, Jacqueline Affleck, she's a ex-army person. Emergency can happen at we must have a plan. We cannot have a list of emergencies sometimes. That is why it's called emergency,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So Michelle, I understand what you're saying. So it's not the specific incident I'm talking about. Because
Mm.
remember, apart from the persons who were affected, it's a traumatic scene, a traumatic situation will affect the whole school population. And that school have maybe like about 2,000 children or so. Plus, it's on I don't know if you know where it is. It's on top of a hill, right?
No, I don't know.
It's on top of a hill,
Lawrence
right?
Tavern, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, it's on top of
Mm.
a hill, and then so
Oh,
you have to descend. You have to descend down into the town area. So what happened? MP Juliet Cuthbert saw like a group of students at a particular time, and she's like, "What is happening?" And like they can't even really tell her. So she went up to the school to find out what is happening and try to get some semblance of order and control as to what is happening.
Vita, can you control yourself, Vita? I mean, this is a serious show we're having. Sending love notes and stuff like that. Anyway, carry on, Lester.
Yeah. But you know, um, what I'm saying is that even with letting out the children, many parents may not be at home. Many parents may not be aware that their children is now on the street, heading home or heading into the public at midday. You know, what are the protocols in place to can quickly send out an alert to all the numbers on the for the parent or guardian body. These are some of the things I'm talking about. That let us look at the wider picture of what should be put in place next time, or a protocol to all
Mm.
high schools or primary schools. Because listen, when we had the incident with the girl from Kingston Technical High School, right? The day before, that same girl got in a fight with the one the one that died. They got in a fight together.
The same too.
Yes. And she come out the
Okay.
next day and stab her. That the girl who did the stabbing, right, a few weeks before that, a few months before that, she also was in another fight where she stabbed somebody else. And she had been in a series of fight.
Who's
Now,
the one who did the stabbing?
stabbing. What I'm
Oh.
saying is that between last year and this year, she had a series of altercation. But if we had a protocol where, okay, this happened at the school, right? So a memo can be sent out to the parents, right? That because we have sex and gangs in schools, and they clique. right? We have to have a control mechanism where we want and alert parents that, hey, remember to check your children bags when they're leaving so that you don't have sharp objects and stuff like that. So when you know little tussle like this come up, you send out a reminder to all the students, the guardians and the parents of the students and stuff like that. We have to start being more proactive in things like this when events like this. Don't wait until something dramatic happen. We saw Kingston Technical High School have something like 1,600 or 1,500 children. A young
Mhm.
lady lost her life in front of the whole school population.
Yeah.
This is traumatic. And 1 day or 2 day with a counseling cannot do this because persons were in her class. Imagine we just talked to her around the corner and then we come see she full of blood and she dead. You know, this thing are gonna live with you. So we have to have some type of
Yeah.
contingency plan in
Yeah.
place wholesalely to mitigate these things.
Yeah. In rapid,
I overstand,
Michelle.
Lester.
Oh, sorry.
I
Uh,
overstand everything that you're saying about put, but this situation that happened is so odd. It is so odd that one would even think about. Yes, it's now for the school authorities them now to say, okay, you have to know how to go about now kids on what happened to them, and the
yeah.
traumatization
Yeah.
that they renting. What I
All right. Well,
what
mm,
when me
go on, Michelle.
and
Sorry.
when
Keep
me
talking.
can't understand is that this is far fetched that no one would even think about having an emergency for that.
Well,
You
well,
understand? Because
But Silver, what I'm
yeah.
to
hearing,
me
if there was
What
there
on,
was a
Michelle?
it
lady,
What on,
happened
what
in
on,
the
Michelle?
first place.
What on, Michelle?
there was a lady who came by the school to pray over students or the school
I
body.
saw the
Or,
video. I saw the
yeah.
video of the lady. Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
for me, I'm saying, how do you allow person who is not attached to the school to come in and take part in a school activity like that,
You mean
right?
the one that was on the streets
Exactly.
talking?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
right. But let's go further, right? You know what? One of the problem culturally, if somebody come up to you, right, and I've experienced this, right, because I'm not religious at all. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious, right?
Exactly.
So when a 7 day Adventist person or a Jehovah Witness person come up to me and want to talk to me about the religion that they're a part of or whatever, right? Me chase them away. There is a me not have time to talk to them about them
Me
stuff,
too. Me
right?
too.
Now the thing is, if you ever do that, or the school body should ever do that, or a member of the authority of the school ever do that, the basis because the word Christian or Jesus is mentioned, right? The more bring on the blood of Jesus upon you, you're gonna be perceived as you're atheist or you're Satan your lover. So a lot of time
Mm.
when people come to people with Christianity or a religious thing, right? Them defenses go down, like them automatically defenses go down, and like they're forced to accept or listen to what the person is saying.
All
Well,
right. We're
this
gonna
is
have.
where
Hold on, Michelle. Like.
professionalism should come in. This is where professionalism. If you have a leader would just come off of the first of all, it shouldn't have been allowed in the school.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. We don't know everything, and we don't know if that person was attached to the school in some respect or whatever like that. But Gary, see what you're saying because a lot of suppositions we're dealing with here.
I
Yeah.
mean, I agree with what Lester, the blogging god, the husband of Vita Gale, say, because him must sip as if this is sip and talk, as if this is Saturday.
It's
This is
Pepsi, no, it's cola,
It's
cola.
we're talking sip.
talk.
We changed it up. We have the
Well,
music. We even have the music too.
I am talking. I am Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
longest thing that anybody could have. But I agree with you, Lester. And whatever you said, Lester, it happens also within the Christian community. Because when you see ministers, and I can talk about of this of a fact, where you have ministers, because them have a man that can visit them church and them short and speak in tongues 2 times, they believe that they're the best preacher in town. So what do? They then put up a tent, bring the guy over, preach 2 things. Everybody start jumping, wheel, and run up and down. But the thing about it, what they don't realize is that that preacher, Lester, that preacher is nothing but a devil himself. So what has he then given to them? He's given them, he's imparted himself to them, and then they then react and behave unseemly because of who he is, and that has been transferred. It would seem that has been transferred into society, into the schools, because if that's what you've said that happened, if is
If
just
if
is if if the leadership of the school just heard of this woman on the street and bring her in, they should never have done that. I would never agree with
Well, it's like sometime in church, a priest wouldn't just bring up anybody to the pulpit just because they come in and they say they are,
exactly, Silbone, and
Mm.
and that is what
That
we seem always to be
and
doing.
this
That
is
should
what I
never have happened.
you should know how to differentiate things. Come on now. You only
Well,
talking about school. That is
well,
church. We're talking about school. If
well.
anything that is happening in school,
I'm getting
the
my wrap up call.
parent
Time for me to wrap up. Yeah.
oh,
No, no.
they just feel like it shouldn't happen. And if
Yes,
they knew
anyway,
that was gonna happen, then they should have to send a permission slip out to the kids, their mother, allow them to partake in this that you're getting ready to do. I think that's the way you
Yeah.
should do it.
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
look here now.
Yes, Gary. Yes.
My last word is Kanye for president 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay, yay for
Yeah.
president.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I'm behind Kenny all the way. Power to Kenny and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I'm I'm voting the blogging god for Jamaica Prime Minister.
Yeah, me want to kill. Me want to kill.
Well, guys, listen.
Uh,
Thanks for that,
Okay.
Michelle. Yeah. I think we'll have this is just like what we had the last time. This is following up on Saturday night, as well. Talk and sip. And we'll see how it
Right.
unfolds. Gary, I guess you're gonna call up Lester to do the benediction.
No,
Um,
no, no. It's all right. Guys, later.
no, I mean for Saturday night we do the benediction. Where you run gone,
Run, girl,
Michelle? Take care of yourself. Have a
All
good night.
right. Peace, guys.
Yeah,
run,
hang on. You guys have elections next week, isn't it? Midterm.
Yeah, no, then started.
It, it started
My
already.
mom went out and voted yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
My
So what
mom
is
did
it?
her voting
What is it?
yesterday.
What is the polls saying in regards to Democrats or Republican? How is it looking?
I'm not keeping up with it.
You're not keeping up with
Politics.
it. Okay. All right. No problem. We'll follow up on this one. Okay. All right, Michelle.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Okay, Miss.
Cheers. Bye bye. Yeah. Gary, we'll follow up on this one. Bring in,
Yeah. I mean,
and
Sid,
yes.
before you go, I mean, there was a comment here. You put it up twice, and I think it's something that you could probably look at it in a later show. It says, when you say it did not look like the Holy Ghost.
Yes. I wanted to reach to it. It was by J.L. Samuels.
Right. We can talk about that later. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are particular instances, jail, that I think that we could look at. I'm not saying that we ought to well, be, I think there are some telltale signs. For me
Yes.
personally, I think there are some telltale signs. Because everything that moves, is not always the Holy Ghost. It's not always the Spirit of God, really. So
Can I, yeah. Can I just say to you, J.L. Samuels, that we are, and I can't seem to find it, but we are in the process of launching this interactive discussion with some ministers called God and Government. That is where we're having some discussions very soon. So that is going to be something with Gary. I'm going to get some different ministers. We might even get TD Jakes and just get ready.
Noel Jones too and all them
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. And so like that. So that is something on the scene. But I think it's a very good question. And I think we should not be shied away from exploring and digging deep into issues like this, and especially what happened. Because they always say God is not the author of confusion, as well. Thank you. I know nothing about this incident. Just to disclose, I agree with you, but I want to know how to decipher that. Interested in government, in God and government. There it is, Gary. God and
Yeah,
government is getting promoted already, and we're not even started. There we are.
yeah.
Everybody, I say it too. I got ministers all lined up for that as well. You know what I mean? So so that's the case there. All right, Gary. Well, listen.
Bless you, man. Thank you.
Good night. Yeah. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining tonight and show. Well, I guess normally don't stick to my 1 hour slot, but it's very important that we follow through with some discussion. And Saturday night, talking sip, we will talk some more about this issue regarding the children at this school in Jamaica, which was crazy there. And we're going to talk about on Saturday night. Kanye West. Yes, we're definitely going to talk about that as well. So have a good night. God bless you. Tomorrow's what? Friday. Oh yeah, Friday. Gotta get my car serviced as well. First thing early in the morning. Queen Patricia and everybody on Instagram. Thank you so much. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you around on the other side. My name is Silburn from the Silburn Show. Over and out.